Welcome to another Puzzle Time with MoMath and MathPickle. I'm Gord, and hello everyone. If you guys can share your videos, that just adds to the nice community feel that we have here. For those of you who are new, one way that we introduce ourselves here, and Galila. Hello, Galila. Hello, Sophia. Okay, Galila and Sophia, the way we introduce ourselves here is we tell everybody why we eat pickles for breakfast and lunch and supper every day. That's how we introduce ourselves. So, do you want to say why you eat pickles all the time, every day?
Because they're healthy.
They're healthy, okay.
And they taste good.
Okay, cool. And Atom, you've been here before. Ritu, if you're a kid, you can come on in and you can say why you eat pickles all the time. Otherwise, and you can come in even if you're an adult and say why you eat pickles all of the time. Okay, so today we have, if you remember, a few weeks ago, we found a earthworm and we were trying to teach it to count. And this same earthworm today, we have already taught it to count. So now we're going to teach it some other things. We're going to teach it how to lie on a container with the smallest number of toothpicks possible. Okay, so we get to choose the toothpicks, and we're trying to conserve our toothpicks. So let's go with Atom. Where would you like to place the first toothpick here, Atom? So for example, you could place it between A and D. And these are places that our little worm, Willie Wiggle worm, cannot go through A and D. So Adam, where would you like to place the first toothpick?
Between E and H.
Between E and H, okay. And Solly, would you like to place another one? We're trying to place as few toothpicks as possible so that Willie Wiggle worm only has one way to lie down. I mean, we can switch his head and tail because he doesn't really think in terms of head and tail. Most worms don't.
Between E and B.
Between E and B. Okay, E and B, there we go. Braden, hello. So if this is your first time, Braden, one of the ways that we introduce ourselves here is we say why we eat pickles for breakfast and lunch and supper every single day. So that's how we introduce ourselves. Why do you eat pickles all of the time, Braden?
Honestly, because they're yummy.
Because they're yummy. Good. Braden, where would you like to place a toothpick? Between?
I was thinking between A and B.
Between A and B, okay. And Braden, what would you guess? Do you think there's only one way, and exactly one way now, for the worm to lie down? You can, his name is Willie Wiggle worm. That's right. Do you think there's only exactly one way for Willie Wiggle worm to lie down here? Or do you think it's impossible? Or do you think, so let's just check. So I'm going to do the first one here. I'm going to say, okay, Willie Wiggle worm can go here and here and here and here and here. And let's see, let's just pop that on like that. And just let me get this. I've got a little bit of noise going on here. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so did this work? No, it failed because Willie Wiggle worm didn't go to E. Okay, so this is an example of a failure. Okay. Next, what are we going to do here? So I'm going to remove all of these, and we have to try it again because there is no way to do that. Agreed? Anyone think that there's a way to do that? Yep. It's impossible, right, Seth? Or is it possible? You're on, Seth. Speak up.
Yep, it's impossible.
You're really hard to hear, Seth.
Wait, is this better? Can you hear me better now?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, it's impossible. So because A has nothing else to go to, A has to start and it has to go to D. And
Yep.
same with B to C.
Yep.
And then C has to go to F. And now we are brought to with two choices for each one. If we go to E, then we end the worm, but
Yeah.
you don't get any of these over here.
Okay.
And if, yeah. And then
Okay.
if we go up, it doesn't work because we skip E, so yeah.
Okay, good.
But I think I know how you can do it.
Annika, go ahead. With those three or with a different three, Annika?
Those three.
Okay, with those three.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'll put them back. Okay, go ahead, annotate, Annika.
You can go like this.
But you can't go from B to F. You went diagonally back to a place that you've already been. So the idea here is just like the previous time, for those of you who are here a couple of weeks ago, just like the previous time, you can't go diagonally and you can't visit a place that you've already visited. So if you start at A with the head, Sully, can you just take that? We'll do that in a second. Okay, so if you start off here at A and then go to D and G and H and I and F and C and B, you're stuck. You can't go diagonally to F.
Wait, I think I know how you can do it with no toothpicks.
With no toothpicks, of course you can do it with no toothpicks. Okay, but the question is, that's correct. You can do it with no toothpicks. Okay, now the question is, I want you to find a location for some toothpicks that makes it there only one solution. And I want you to use the fewest toothpicks possible, Annika. Okay?
This way you can only use one toothpick.
Okay, so let's see. Remove your annotation, and I'm going to ask Oscar. Oscar, can you do you agree that there is one and only one way, if you have that toothpick, is there only one way for the worm, Willy Wiggle Wiggle worm, to lie? There's one way. Is there another way, or is that it? Sully, can you just wait for Oscar to do another one here? And the red one. Okay, so there are
two ways, the blue one and the red one. I don't believe there's any more that I can put as a green one.
Okay, but the important thing is that there's at least two ways. So this is not a good solution. One toothpick in that position, Annika, doesn't work. Okay, so now we're going to try.
I found a third one.
Okay, and I'm just going to take that one off. And if you guys can remove your annotations. And Matthew and Annalise, it's now your turn to place toothpicks. You guys, Annalise, let's start with you. How many toothpicks would you like to place? You can place 2, you can place 3, you can place 1. But the important thing is that after you place your toothpicks, there can only be one way for Willy Wiggle Wiggle Worm to lie down.
Actually, we signed in late, so we don't really know how to do this.
Okay. So I'll come back to you. Galilea and Sophia, go ahead and tell me where you would like to add some toothpicks.
Between E and F.
E and F, there you go. There's that one done. Okay, and do you want to do another one?
How about H and I?
Between H and I. Okay.
Yes.
There we go. Do you want to do another one, or is that good?
Can I do?
I think we're good.
We're good. Okay. Super Kitty Cat, it's your turn. So I'm just going to have Super Kitty Cat give the answer here, Annika. So if just Super Kitty Cat, if you want to annotate, you can. There's one solution. So I can draw this one in, and then you can think of another one if you want. Or, okay, so there's one, and let me just, I'm gonna make that big and nice and thick. So that's Super Kitty Cat's first answer. And now, is there another answer, or is that the only one?
I think that's the only one.
Okay, do you agree, Super Kitty Cat? Okay, so both Seth and Solly are suggesting another solution here. And here it is. So this one goes up here, over here, down here, up here. And I'm just going to make that nice and thick too. So we have at least two different solutions. So these two toothpicks weren't enough, Galilea and Sophia. That didn't work. Ritu, it's, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to go back here. Ritu, it's your idea now. I'm going to put this.
My name is actually Arav. Yeah, he's coming from my account. Arav, yeah.
Aros, okay. You can change you can rename your account. So you can just, you can rename, and some of the co-hosts can help you rename.
I think it's right here.
Right now, Aros, can you place,
okay, what's your idea? First, let's, what do you want to, oh.
How many toothpicks do you want to add?
How many toothpicks you want to add here?
So there's only one way for Willie Wiggle Wiggle Worm.
So
Willie Wiggle.
Wait, how do I annotate?
Yeah,
you go to the top of the
There's
screen and then you press view options
thing at the
and then
top
press
of the
annotate.
I'm going to mute. Sorry, go ahead, Aris.
Oh. So what do you want to block? Where do you want to put?
I want to put the toothpick in front of B.
In front of B, so like between B and C, like this?
Yeah,
Okay, and do you want to place another one, or is that it?
that's it.
That's it? So this one, we've already seen Annika
No,
try.
that won't work.
Annika tried to do this, okay, with just a single toothpick.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you think that this is going to be any different? Well, the answer is no, because of symmetry. Because Annika had two symmetric solutions, it's also going to be true that this one has two symmetric solutions because you can just flip them, okay? So we don't even have, so keep on going, Aros. One in this position is not enough. And we've also tried two like this. This is what Galilea and Sophia tried. They tried this. So we also don't need to try that. Keep on going, Aros, and tell me what other one you would like to try.
Between H and G.
And can I also have a toothpick in between H and G?
Between H and G, absolutely. There we go.
Like this.
And Matthew and Annalise, you are now.
And D and E.
Oh, and D and E. Okay. Yeah, we can absolutely do that. Okay. Matthew and Annalise, you guys get to say, is there only one way to lay the earthworm? So Solly is suggesting this here, CFIHEBADG, in that way. Is that the only way, or is there another way?
Yeah, that's the only one.
Matthew and Annalise, it's your turn to get in there. So is this?
Wait.
Change your name, okay, Tools? Okay.
I know where it is.
How are you supposed to do it?
So you can start off at any of these locations and lay the head of Willie Wiggle Wiggle Worm.
What?
No.
Okay, we've got a poll here, guys. So just take a little break, answer the poll, and then
We have a lot of people. Yeah, rename.
My gosh.
okay.
I have to do like.
And if we can end the poll now and share the results, and then we are back to the puzzle. Okay. Matthew and Annalise, this is how it works. So in this situation, we have these toothpicks. The worm cannot lay across toothpicks. It would be too uncomfortable for it. The toothpicks are wooden and they're just not comfortable to lie on. So the earthworm prefers to avoid the toothpicks. And so if the earthworm's head is at C, then the question is, where's the rest of the body? If there's only exactly one way, then you guys are good. So from C, you can go to, you can lie like this. But the question is there another way to lie? And visiting all of the spaces. So of course you could lay like, are you allowed to go diagonally? Are you allowed to do this? And go diagonally? No. You're
Yeah,
not.
that's
Diagonally is not allowed.
You missed H.
Yeah. You also have to visit all of the spaces, Matthew and Annalise. So this is wrong for two reasons. Okay, we missed H, and not only did we miss H, we also went diagonally. Two reasons that this isn't correct. Okay, so I think that this one worked. So Aros, oh, I guess you, no, Arav. This worked. So you have successfully completed this puzzle for 3 toothpicks. Now the question for everybody else, is, do you need 3 toothpicks? Or is it possible just 2 toothpicks would be enough to solve this puzzle? So that's the question. Let's go with
Do you not need to
Gord.
block this? Because
Jordan,
if it comes
hello
here,
there.
it comes here.
Hi, Jordan.
Okay.
What do you think?
Do you think that we can do this with less toothpicks?
You can go.
Take away which?
Or do you think three is what you need?
This one. That way you can go. You can't go.
Yeah. So do you want between G and H? Is that what you're saying?
Between G and B and C.
And between B and C? And you think that that's going to be exactly one way to solve this? And only one way? That's what you're predicting?
What do you think?
It
Wanna
worked.
try?
Yeah.
So, Adam, what do you think? Are you agreeing with Jordan or disagreeing with him that there's only one way to solve this?
It looks like it might work.
Yeah. Seth, would you like to annotate a solution?
Okay. This is the only possible solution.
Oh, so you agree with Adam and Jordan?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I can show why.
Let's go on, because this was nice, but it's actually a lie, because Willie Wiggle Wiggle Worm isn't this small. Willie Wiggle Wiggle Worm is this, needs this size of container, not the smaller one. So this is actually the size of container that Willie Wiggle Wiggle Worm is lying in. And so we now have to figure out how few toothpicks. You guys are correct. It just took 2 toothpicks to lie in the 3x3 container. But now we've got this is the real container. It's 4x4. How many toothpicks do you need for Willie Wiggle Wiggle Worm to lie in this container? Ruta, go ahead. How many toothpicks would you like to place? And then go ahead and place them.
Right now, I'm just gonna cut it random since this is our first one with this one.
Nothing wrong with random. It's a great place to start, Ruta. Yeah, I like that.
C between C and D.
Done.
G and H.
G and H. Done.
B and C.
B and C.
Oh wait, actually no. Wait, yeah. Wait. Actually, never mind. Between M and N.
a minute. Okay.
I see where you're going here.
Okay. And
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it
Yep.
because
Okay,
yeah.
so Ollie, just let Ruta work with this one. So any of you who want to go off and work by yourselves, I will now share the presentation. There you go. You can come back in 15 minutes and I will get to your, so anyone who's feeling like they want to explore this, maybe for bigger, that's, you can go to that and you can explore that there. Okay. So what I have in chat right now is this form. You will need to copy it. The way that you copy these is you go up here, you go to File, and
If you have a
say,
Google
make a copy,
account.
you go to entire presentation, and you can copy the.
If you have a Google account.
And thank you, Super Kitty Cat. That's correct. You do need to have a Google account in order to copy these things.
Because if you just do it in like Microsoft Edge and you're not logged into like, and you can't really log into like your Gmail in there, then you can't copy it.
Right. Braden, I'm going to ask you now, what do you think about Ruta's suggestion? Is there one way and just one way for our little Willie Wiggle worm to lie down in here? What do you think?
I think this is impossible.
And why? Tell me why you think it might be impossible, Braden.
You have 3 ends.
Okay, it is.
You have this end,
Yeah.
end, and this end.
Okay, that's a great observation. Our worm only has one tail and one head, but in order for a worm to fit in here, it would need a tail, a head, and something else that ends off. So you're exactly right. There is no way that we can solve this. So this was a great example of a random starting position. Ruta just chose these randomly. It was a random starting position, and it ended up with the worm, our poor little worm, not being able to lie anyway. So we have 0 solutions here. Okay, let's remove these and let's jump in with Solly. Go ahead, Solly. And Rita, can you just remove that annotation? Perfect. Thank you.
I have a sure way of doing it, but that uses a lot of toothpicks.
Okay, well, we don't know how many toothpicks you need. You're trying to choose the smallest number of toothpicks so that there is exactly one way to solve it. So you are going like this.
This is like the most you can do.
Okay, so whenever we're solving mathematical problems, sometimes it is really good just to see, okay, let's just have the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that we place absolutely all of these. It took us 9 toothpicks, but of course there's only one way to solve this.
Wait, you can remove this.
And what an interesting way to do this, Solly. So
Wait,
you're now saying, okay, this is the worst case, but now let's remove toothpicks. Instead of most people, they're adding just as few as they can. You've come up with a very creative way. I really love the way that you are being creative here. You started off with a really terrible solution with 9 toothpicks, and then you're removing them. So absolutely, we can remove these. And what a really nice creative way to try to solve this. And yeah, I can believe you now that you've got it's still not a great solution maybe, but it was a really interesting idea that you have to start out with a whole bunch of toothpicks and to remove them. Really fun. Let's continue with this. Annika, do you want to try to remove some more from Solly's idea? Do we need all of these 6?
I think that maybe we do, because if this weren't here, then oh yeah, we can.
Okay, yeah. There
that
still is
one.
only one way to do this, I think, with just this toothpick removed. Let me just annotate it. So here we go. We can go down here. I don't think that we can do any better than Solly's original.
No, I thought a better way.
And we can remove this too.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, we can remove that too.
And that still remains the only solution.
Only 3.
Oh my goodness. So we can remove this one too.
Wait, really? Let me see.
Okay, now this is getting extreme.
Yeah,
Araf,
this is how you can do it.
Araf, what do you think, Araf? Is there only one way to do this now, or have we missed something and there's actually now more than one way? So
I think there's only one way. I don't.
okay, so the question is, Araf, here we have this way here. We know this. This is how Solly started. Okay, so we know that this is going to be a solution no matter how many toothpicks we remove.
Wait.
We know that this is going to be a solution. Is there another solution now, Araf? Yeah or no?
What if you can go like horizontally?
Go ahead. Can you annotate, or do you want to just tell me where to go and I will draw it? So if you start off at A, what do you mean go horizontally? So like I can see we yeah. Okay, so going across like that. But no, we are not allowed to go down. We're not allowed to go through toothpicks. Remember, toothpicks are really uncomfortable for Araf, really uncomfortable. So no, we can't go across like that. We can't go across from A to B because that's going over a toothpick. Okay. Sophia and Galilea, go ahead. Tell me, do you think that, thanks, Araf. Do you think that we can even remove another toothpick? What happens if we remove this one? Does this still work? Are you happy with these 3? What do you think?
I think the 3 will work, because if we remove the one between N and O, we won't be covering all the spaces.
It's not that we cover the other spaces, but whoever did that, who did that annotation, that was really good, because that was another solution. That was another solution that we could get. Whoever did that annotation just now, that worked. So
I did.
That back. I didn't see who did it, but whoever did it, that was perfect.
I think that was Solly. I don't know.
Okay, so I did see it. So let me read it to it. I wasn't sure if this had another solution, but it does. Here we go.
Because I heard her, I think.
Okay, here we go. There we go. So there.
Can I draw one more?
If you remove this one here at the bottom, okay, whoever's put that in, if you could just erase it. Yeah. So there is, if you don't have this one at the bottom, then there's 2 different solutions at least, and probably more. Actually, there's going to be more, because don't forget, we can take this and with symmetry, we can flip it horizontally, and we also have this solution. Okay, symmetry comes to
very true.
I put something in the chat.
Okay. Okay. So we have a hypothesis, and the hypothesis is that the lowest number of toothpicks, this is from Oscar, the lowest number of toothpicks is equal to the edge of the graph minus 1. I love hypotheses like this. If they're wrong, who cares? If they're right, oh, that's pretty cool. So what an interesting hypothesis. So Oscar is saying that we can't get better than 3 here. The edge of the graph, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can just remove the backdrop there.
I'm still working on a way to get at 4 in a 5 by 5 grid.
Okay. So I'm going to take off that. And so Oscar's hypothesis is that you've done as well as you can, that nobody can do better than 3. So that's the hypothesis here. We love to have hypotheses on PuzzleTime. That's what mathematics is made of. It's made of making these crazy hypotheses and then trying to break them, okay? And I don't care if they're wrong. I don't care. I think that's just really fun. So thanks, Oscar, for that really interesting hypothesis. Okay, Jordan and Ezra, would you like to try to get 2 toothpicks that only create one way for Willie Wiggle Wiggle to lie down? You want to try just 2? We saw just now that having 2 in this shape is not enough. This one, this didn't work because there's more than one answer then. So that didn't work. Would you like to try something else? Go ahead.
Sorry, couldn't unmute for a second. What did you want to say?
You say it.
Between F and G and J and K?
No, between N and O and A and B.
And A and B?
Yeah, why do we need the ones between C and D?
Okay, Matthew and Annalise, you're up. Go ahead. Annalise, you're first. Does this have one and only one way for the worm to lie down? Annika, I'm just going to get Matthew and Annalise in here now. So go ahead. Annalise, let's start with you. Tell me about this. And Arav, I'm just going to get, if you guys can just not annotate for a while here. It's now Annalise's turn.
I think that there's, well, I'm just taking the ways, but I think that there's only one way, because that way is
So you can tell me which way to go. So I'm gonna start on A, and you, of course, we have to go to E, but then where do we want to go?
Then we go to I.
Okay. Got it.
Then we go to M.
Yeah.
And then you go to N, and then you go to B. J, F,
J.
and then
Oh, all the way up to B.
And then you go to C.
Right? Oh, and then this is kind of Solly's solution, right? It's this one here, right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is one solution. Oh, and Solly has got another solution here.
That doesn't work then.
Okay, so there is 2 solutions. There's this one, but there's also another one here. This one here. Oops.
I'm tired.
Right. So there's also that one. Let me just do one of these. We only need to get 2 of these solutions. And if you guys can stop annotating now, it does get messy whenever anyone does it. And it's okay. I don't mind a little bit of mess as long as you guys clean it up whenever I ask. Good. So there are these 2 different solutions. And there's probably more. There's probably more. So these 2, Jordan and Ezra, these 2 were not enough. Okay. Matthew, do you want to try to place just 2 so that there is only one way for Willie Wiggle Wiggle Worm to lie down? Matthew, it's your turn.
I think you should put 1 toothpick in the middle.
Right in the middle?
I mean,
Like,
In the middle.
like you mean like here?
Mhm.
I guess all of these are kind of in the middle. Is that right?
One and one right on the other side of K.
On the other side of K. Got it. Okay. Like that. No one's tried anything like this before, Matthew. Okay. Okay.
Wait, are you allowed to go in between the toothpicks?
Nope. Nope. You can't go in between. Seth, what do you think? We've got the Solly solution. We'll call this the Solly solution. I'm just going to copy it here, just a second. Okay, we've got the Solly solution. We know that one. Okay, do we have another solution here?
Wait, I was off on my own.
Oh, sorry, Seth. No, you go, do your own stuff. I'll come back with you guys in 3 minutes. 3 minutes for all of you out experimenting by yourselves. Come back in 3 minutes. For those of you who are still Solly, is there another solution? I know we've got yours. Is there another one?
Oh, I messed that up.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, I see that. We can go like this and like this. Oops. Oh, I didn't do a very good job drawing that one. Let me try again. Okay, so yeah, we can go down here. Okay, and then we can go all the way across at the top and then down and then like that. And indeed, that is a totally different solution. So this did not work. So another example of two toothpicks not working here. Now, according to Oscar's hypothesis, we should not be able to find a solution with two toothpicks. But I will tell you. Yes, Oscar?
And it's almost done. You probably start to try find a solution or a 5 by 5.
You think I should give up, accept your hypothesis, and just say, let's just move on to 5 by 5. But before we leave 4 by 4, I will tell you, Oscar, your hypothesis is not correct. There is a way to solve this with just two toothpicks. There is a way to find a position of just two toothpicks that is not possible to solve in two ways for Willy Wiggle Wiggle Worm. So I don't know the correct formula for this. I don't know the answer for 5 by 5 either. Okay, so for 5 by 5, we can come back next week and you guys can tell me I solved it for 3 toothpicks or 4, and I'm going to learn from you guys. But I do know that the minimum for this 4 by 4 is 2 toothpicks. I know that, and you guys can enjoy finding that. Now I'm going to go with those people who have been away. They've been discovering things. Maybe they've been working on 5 by 5. I don't know. So who has been away working on their own thing right now? Seth, you have. Anyone else? Seth, do you want to jump in and say something?
Okay.
Yeah, tell me what you've discovered and yeah.
Okay, so I worked on 4 by 4 and 5 by 5. In the 4 by 4, I'm unsure. I think I might have gotten a solution with only one solution.
With 2 toothpicks?
Yep.
Okay, but I'm going to leave that with people because that's a fun puzzle. So let's jump up to your 5 by 5. And do you have a suggestion about what you think might be the smallest number here?
For 5 by 5.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I can't contradict you. You can say anything right now and I'll say, okay, because I don't know the answer.
I'm just going to say that there has to be more than one. And there's only one. There's the only puzzle where one is the the only puzzle where one toothpick works is in the 2x2. Otherwise,
Okay.
and 3x3 for record, so on, 1,
Okay.
and
That's
for
a good
5x5,
hypothesis too. You definitely need more than one. Yeah.
and for 5x5, I think it's gonna be more than 2, but I'm unsure. I've just been playing around with it, doing random things and seeing what happens.
Annika has a very interesting idea here, and this is extending from Solly's idea. So Annika is taking Solly's idea, and I think you have a pattern here. And I wonder if we shouldn't be experimenting with this pattern and finding, oh, please don't tell me there's more than one solution to this. Oh no, oh no. Okay, so let me just copy that one because that's really cool. So that was a great idea. So it was like this and like this and like this and like this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So there's that solution. Sorry, it's a bit wonky there at the end. There's that solution, and then there's the standard up and down solution that's showing there. Good. So this is not a solution, but Annika, I agree with you. I think this should have been a solution. This was so beautiful. It should have been a solution. So yeah, a moment to be sad right now that was not a solution. Good. Okay. And this would be impossible. Braden would say that this is impossible if you have this here, because according to Braden, he would say, well, now you need to have, if you're saying all these toothpicks, Braden would say, well, now you have a head or a tail at A, a head or a tail at D, and a head or a tail at E. And Braden would be absolutely correct, right? This is
and one at Y.
This is certainly, and one at Y. Yeah. So yeah, all sorts of disasters here. Yeah. Good. We have a couple minutes left. Oscar, your turn.
Only 2.
I was just going to say before we leave that it would be a good suggestion of a variant of the puzzle if you made it so that instead of just a line, it's a loop that you need to draw, like the ends of the worm were glued together.
Okay, and for this one here, let's say that the worm ate his or her tail right now on this 5x5. Can you show me the minimum number of toothpicks that you would need to lay to make sure that there was only one solution to this, Oscar? Can you solve your own puzzle for this 5x5?
Well, I'm not sure.
Well, that is something.
But it's something to think about. Over the week.
Yes, and I would encourage you to think. Can you find a? Oh, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything, but I will say this could be frustrating. I can say that.
Yeah.
So try it with the 4x4. Try it with the 5x5. Oscar, I love that you're coming up with your own puzzles here. So you might be surprised that next week we decide to do or maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we should do this, Oscar. So yeah, tomorrow, whenever you guys arrive, you're going to have a worm eating its tail. And you have to figure out the smallest number of toothpicks for that worm to lie down. So we'll call tomorrow's puzzle the Oscar's Willy Wiggle Worm Puzzle Day.
Can we try a 4x4 again? I believe I have a solution.
Okay, but
okay, I just need to. If you put one between M and N and G and K.
And G and K. Oh, I think you might have found a single solution there. And
because I think this might be the only
Galia,
solution.
do you want to try solving this in more than one way? So here we've got one solution. I can copy this. Okay. Okay. So the question is, Galia, can you get another?
Oh no, 2, I think.
Oh, are there 2?
I
No.
think so. 'Cause someone drew one, but I'm not sure.
Oh, so we're adding on a moment of sadness because we didn't get it. We didn't solve this one.
Wait, what's the other solution?
The other.
Mine was, oh, not that. Starting from here, we can just loop.
Okay. Right.
That's sad.
Yeah. But that's okay because it's kind of fun to end on a question rather than a period, a question mark rather than a period. It's kind of more exciting to end on a question mark. So I will tell you that question mark has an answer. You can find 2 toothpicks. If you put them into this 4x4, you can find a way. And that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow we will have the Oscar Willie Wiggle Wiggle Worm biting its tail.
Okay, bye.
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 Adults are welcome to stay around if you want to have an adult conversation. That would be totally cool.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, it's bye.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Aquí. ¿Cómo se sale de aquí?
Okay. Good. Thank you for the pronunciation help, Steve. I was struggling. Oh my goodness. Galia. Yeah.
I liked today how you built on the students' hypotheses and Oscar's offering of another puzzle that we can all solve. I thought you did more of that today than other times, although I know you've done it in other times too, but today seemed particularly kind of student generated in terms of how you were focusing on what they were offering. So I appreciated that. Thank you.
It seems like you're at the verge of telling him something.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you held back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know what, I wanted to set it up in some way, but then it was just better. Oh, I just realized, let's just make tomorrow all about it. So yeah. I'm glad to.
Have you, is this a new puzzle for you? Have you done it?
No, I haven't done it.
Because it might be trivial.
Well, for the 5x5, it's impossible.
I understand.
Yeah, but I don't think it's trivial for
and you can always go to 6x6.
Oh, absolutely.
I think you better be ready for that.
Oh, I am ready for 6x6.
Okay.
Yeah, and for 6x6, it definitely won't be trivial. Yeah.
For Oscars, you're talking about for Oscars?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Even for 4x4, it's not it's not obvious.
Nice job slow rolling the 4x4 solution too.
Sorry?
Nice job slow rolling the 4x4 solution.
Yeah.
So I really liked how somebody said you need 1 toothpick for the 2x2. That was a wonderful regression to the simpler and smaller.
Yeah, that was set.
Yeah.
I hope I gave that enough credit. I don't think I did. I think
you did all right.
Okay, but I should emphasize it a bit more.
Yeah, but you've done that often in the past, is going back to the simpler solution. You've emphasized that. So I think.
So, right. Yeah. But the thing is that this is not only effective for this problem, this is a really good general solving technique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I was really happy with was Solly's totally new idea for solving. And that's something I had never thought of before, is actually start with the solution and remove toothpicks. So I that was entirely new to me, and I really like that.
So I'm pretty sure I have the solution for 4x4. Are there two or is there only one?
I think there's only one solution. Well, I mean, obviously you can rotate it and flip it and stuff. Yeah.
No, you can't.
Okay, don't tell us yet.
I don't think.
There might be two.
Does one have a horizontal on yours, Steve? Horizontal and a vertical, or just
Well,
verticals?
you can always rotate the
Because-
puzzle, so
yeah,
horizontal
that's
becomes
true.
vertical. So it's hard to say that.
Yeah, but two of them the same, like both vertical or both horizontal. If you rotate, they're going to still be the same.
My solution has the toothpicks oriented in the same direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yours
I was
too.
trying to play with it so that they were different, but maybe that's not possible.
Yeah, that's really interesting. But there's I don't need to analyze it. There's gameplay, and the kids figured out this notion of how many ends, and the ends of these kinds of puzzles are very powerful.
Yeah.
Anyway, I probably said too much.
What do you mean by the ends?
So when you put a
Where you start, where you end
when
the
you put a-
tail of the
when
worm?
you put a toothpick between the corner and the next one, that has to be one of the ends.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Not only that, you have to proceed to only one square.
Yeah,
So that at the end, there are constraints at the end,
yeah. It forces you to end there.
or start. Right?
Yeah.
What a great puzzle.
I really,
Yeah.
the 4x4 can also be solved with two toothpicks for the for Oscar's puzzle, and I think that's going to be minimum. So it's kind of interesting that whether you're dealing with a loop or with a worm without biting its tail, both
Not the same toothpicks.
No, obviously
But-
not. You can
but-
almost certainly that'll never be true.
So it may be one toothpick. I mean, there are only two. There are a very limited number of closed loops in 4x4.
Yeah, but
Only two.
I don't believe you can get down to one. Yeah, you definitely need
Yeah,
two.
just because there's too much flexibility in symmetry.
Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of different solutions for two. You can have two lined up along the midline.
Yeah.
You can have them across the midline, and then everything else. I think those are the only two solutions you have.
Right. They probably correspond to the two loops you can have.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, it'll be fun tomorrow to
Yeah.
try it. Maybe Oscar can explain it tomorrow, or he could start us off.
Do you think he'll spend
Tomorrow.
time solving it between now and then?
I would guess that some of the kids will. So I have to think of how to deal with that. Maybe I should have instead of announce it, I should have just done it tomorrow.
It was great the way Oscar was honored as a puzzle creator.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was worth it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think so too. And that he said, well, this is worth something to think about for later. Like he was ready to have it be a part of the discussion for the next time. But maybe you could have just another one ready in case that's related to this one or to his, that maybe extends it.
This will be deep enough
Okay.
If we go to 6x6 on this, that in no way is that going to be trivial. I don't believe. Like I can't think of I can't get anywhere close to figuring out the minimum there. And the 5x5, I don't think that's going to be easy to minimize that for the worm problem today. I haven't found the minimum that I'm confident in for that.
For 5x5, I've tried finding 4. I haven't been able to do it. Hearing that Oscar was trying to find a 4 solution for the 5x5 was like, wow, he's working on something that I tried with and I struggled with, but even just working on it is really powerful. As for the 6x6, I spent a lot of time on that today and ended up with a solution that I think has got 8 with it. I don't know. I don't have any idea whether that would be even close to optimal yet, though.
No, extremely difficult puzzle.
Oh yeah, it's deep. Kind of fun, sort of a reversal of this with the 5x5 at least. It's kind of fun to solve what's the smallest number of toothpicks you can put in to keep him from being able to sleep anywhere. Which is 2 because of the way the checkerboard thing works out. But
correct. Yeah. So that's got a nice slick answer.
Yeah.
Oh, but you could also just box off a single unit, which would be a cheap way to do it. So you have the one in the corner, it just gets it.
Oh,
you can't visit it.
Yep.
That would be a cheap way to trivial solution. But I know what you're getting at, and that's better. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love the cheap solutions too. I mean, those are always kind of. I always feel clever when I come up with those.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, I really liked your construction of the largest number of blocks for the unbreakable puzzle.
Oh,
that was a really nice and elegant thing. There's some interesting, elegant variations that are maybe worth thinking about.
Yeah, I was thinking about that after the fact, and I wish had done it in a way that was more like symmetrical somehow, because that would have been more elegant. But
exactly. So I think there's a rotationally symmetric, a quarter turn.
Okay.
I'm not certain, but I think we can call it a pinwheel.
Yeah, and I remember when I saw sorry, with back to the 5x5%, I remember really being engaged by the 5x5 puzzle after the fact, and coming up with a version of the puzzle that I could solve with 5 toothpicks felt really, really fun too. And I felt like, yeah, I did something here. Haven't been able to get to 4 though.
Great. Well,
yeah.
Thank you. I did like today. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thanks, Gord.
Cheers. Okay. Cheers. See you tomorrow. Bye.